Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. There's UFOs and underground bunkers, still use nanotech to hunt us. Throat chakra tapper, watcher of the watchers, pulling up the skirts of the agent stalkers like dub plates and midnight marauders, stomping on villains, conspiring with warlords and straw guards. Tried to hide but they saw us with candles, tear the matrix, turn to sawdust. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Too many love to use force and wasting power, leaving water running and you're not even in the shower. Class in the kitchen when I go to Palmer. On their court when the servants are on you. Ask for warrant cards and oaths of police enforcers. Only when we tell them will they do for us. Pulling out Billy Bats ready for orders. Beat yourself in the head to a corpse corpus. This ain't the 60s, I'll help clansmen burn crosses. Suicide rhyme mission and vision got them taking losses. Codes are Morses, sung by daughters of a Sar and a Set, the moon and the star orbits. Now we stand on the stage and player auctions, getting offers to play and trade options. You have no defense, only offense. Too late, no smiles when entering GM's office. 10-year veteran treated like a novice. You could act A.I. Rodman or Williamson Corliss, or act Hamilton. Why? The players won't start their own league or try. Bad ass slapping and on the defense napping and getting schooled by rookie MVP captains, trapping for touch fouls or dribbles over crossing. They should get more than their profit from endorsements, getting fined for comments when fans torment. Only GM sons can apply for ball boy employment. Got sister from the hood paid brands to sing anthems, kicked out the league for drugging and sex scandals. Only real role models, no promos for Cole Brothers. Donate on fee I made from their best-selling old novels. UPLIFTING Humanity.
Breathing life to this game. Anyone exploiting the art, I got to kill them. I swing my sword, they die hard. Bruce Willis, this is for the minds of the young Asiatics. The most incredible when I speak mathematics. I generate revenue, so if you see me, I'm never sleepy. I shed light wherever we be, like no the last TV. I'm resurrected, critical thought when I'm expressing. With a depth, East Coast Texas, the return of the avatars, and we catching wreck till it ain't no weight left in any pin, anywhere that we been, we fearsome with the desire to make the peoples rise up. I'm like Enoch in exquisite scripture, diviner, paradigm shifting, rhyme designer, ascending higher. It's the sire, it's none live, sons wiser. The Nazarene dream, lyrical messiah, building like a carpenter.
Oh, we got to do that again. Oh my gosh, Grand Sheik 4. I know you slept on it. You shouldn't have slept on it. Too late now. Grand Sheik 4, willofallah.com. Real.
Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. The truth, there's UFOs and underground bunkers, still use nanotech to hunt us. Throat chakra tapper, watcher of the watchers, pulling up the skirts of the agent stalkers like dub plates and midnight marauders, stomping on villains, conspiring with warlords and straw guards. Tried to hide but they saw us with candles, tear the matrix, turn to sawdust. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by four corners. The ritual is typical, we do it a ritual. Circle 7 surrounded by 4 corners. The ritual is typical, we do it a ritual. Circle 7 surrounded by 4 corners. The ritual is typical, we do it a ritual. Too many love to use force and wasting power, leaving water running and you're not even in the shower. Class in the kitchen when I go to Palmer. On the court when the servants are on you. Ask for warrant cards and oaths of police enforcers. Only when we tell them will they do for us. Pulling out Billy bats ready for orders. Beat yourself in the head to a corpus. This ain't the 60s, I'll help Klansmen burn crosses. Suicide rhyme, mission and vision got them taking losses. Codes are Morses, sung by daughters of a star and a set, the moon and the star orbits. Now we stand on the stage and player auctions, getting offers to play and trade options. You have no defense, only offense. Too late, no smiles when entering GM's office. 10-year veteran treated like a novice. You could act AI, Rodman or Williamson Corliss, or act Hamilton. Why? The players won't start their own league or try. Bad ass slapping and on the defense napping and getting schooled by rookie MVP captains, trapping for touch fouls or dribbles over crossing. They should give more than they profit from endorsements, getting fined for comments when fans torment. Only GM sons can apply for ball boy employment. Got sister from the hood paid brands to sing anthems, kicked out the league for drugging and sex scandals. Only real role models, no promos for Cole Brothers. Donate on fee I made from their best-selling old novels. UPLIFTING humanity.
Breathing life to this game. Anyone exploiting the art, I got to kill them. I swing my sword, they die hard. Bruce Willis, this is for the minds of the young Asiatics. The most incredible when I speak mathematics. I generate revenue, so if you see me, I'm never sleepy. I shed light wherever we be, like no the last TV. I'm resurrecting, critical thought when I'm expressing. With a depth, East Coast text is the return of the avatars, and we catching wreck till it ain't no ink left in any pen. Anywhere that we been, we fearsome with the desire to make the peoples rise up. I'm like Enoch in exquisite scripture, diviner, paradigm shifting, rhyme designer, ascending higher. It's the sire, it's none live, son's wiser. The Nazarene dream, lyrical messiah, building like a carpenter in Versailles. Hard body with the style, like the ancient poets from the distant past, with skin that was burned like brass, conducting like gold. That's melanin or melanin. I'm still in the limelight from any scene in the flash, like I wear a mask made for skiing. The pristine is MC when I'm teaching, never preaching. When I conceive, birth beneath the same degrees. That was locked within my genes when my mother first perceived that I was coming into being. Basically, I'm the best at passing any trial or test. When I reach them on the path, rise above them like cream with supreme class. Ever why the MCs when I spaz. And the wealth stacking is in action. The precious metal snatching, forging the justice sword slashing. Olive skin, Moorish assassin with woolly hair on my beam. The hardest spitting since 16. Because I studied like a fiend. And now I smoke mics like Gil Scott is heron. Some we reigning, and from here on we slay men who fake illumination for their own personal gain. And the new Mars is here, yo, it's time for changes.
Yo, IHF to the core empowers me. Super Saiyan levels, Dragon Ball Z. Even if you see me, you don't see me. Alchemy equals backwards in my trees. How they make the fruits with no seeds in the trees. I'm supernatural. Make the stuff with ease, like my nuts blowing in the breeze. On the system. As we walk in the streets, it's Car City. My heart is for my people. Spiritual war, heavy artillery, movement to store. Blood and guts spills, faces get torn. So I drop bombs of melanin on the unborn. Ultimate darkness crushes the fake masses. Mess around, get turned out like jackasses. We are the chemistry, get studied in classes. Drive by pit trails, leave rashes on asses. This stuff ain't for the weak. Not for the savages, sight beyond sight. Leave murmur and bandages. Circle 7 light. Man, they can't handle this. I shine that bright. Get shook in my presence. Don't make me have to stop nausea with my silence. My essence crushes evidence and tender resistance. Mother Earth gon' shake, man, and rackle the pestilence. No chemical injections, aka vaccinations. My spidey sense went off, time to switch locations. Locations.
Circle 7 surrounded by 4 corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by 4 corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by 4 corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual. Circle 7 surrounded by 4 corners. The ritual is typical, we do it habitual.
There's a lot more. Peace and love. You've never been here before. This is Canaanland Moore's Tuesday class. And classes turn into exposés now because it's just nuts out here. Like, it's really crazy. Funny story. Before class started, I got a call, and it was Brother Sabir Bey. And he's telling me about, the Chicago lecture, the Mecca lecture, with him and the master teacher Tariq Bey. And it's real interesting that in 2018, right? 2018, people still trying to get on by attempting to talk some BS. Now, when we're talking about Tariq Bey doing a lecture, class, whatever, with Sabir, him doing something with Sabir, that's not first time they're doing that. That's not first lecture there. So don't get caught up because you're new and you think that you're witnessing something. Ain't nothing new. Work been put in. Work's been put in. And the theme of the lecture in Chicago was people need to go study. Everybody's sitting there waiting for the thunderbolt of information to come down from the master teacher or whatever. No. People need to go goddamn study. You want to know about Mars? Go study. If you really want to know about Mars, what you should really do is go study. Find out about Mars. And if you choose to be somebody who doesn't want to study, then whatever you get out there in the wilderness of the know thyself, whatever, you're on your own. And don't get mad at anybody when you get played. Because your ass wasn't supposed to be going out there and trying to find out how to get off your charges. You're supposed to go study. If you went and studied, you would have found out how to get off the charges. But everybody wants a babysitter. Everybody wants somebody to take care of them. Okay, fine. Newbie said, we are a nation. There's a covenant. You and your brothers take care of each other. FOH. What do you mean you want somebody to do something? Go ask your brother to help you. You need help to do something. Go ask your sister to help you if you need help to do something. But no, people want to ride. People want to try to get on. Like this is some entertainment BS. People want to sell people stuff and then people not get the stuff that they buy and then they're still making videos and stuff like that. Like they didn't send the stuff And they know that they didn't send the stuff. They're gonna tell people, pay me, I'll give you some papers, pay me how much ever. So you can come to this class that I'm doing about commerce and you can learn about commerce or whatever. That's not what it was. Keep bringing up this point of these Newbie people. These Newbie people don't know background. They don't have a connection to Moorish history. If you hear somebody say that they're a student and all that stuff, they've been studying Moorish, whatever. And if they mention Taj Street Bay, they better mention Hakeem Bey. Better. Don't pump him up on some pedestal or whatever like that because he's the elder of the whatever. Go get some Hakeem Bey. Oh, bet you can't even get that now. Bet you go out there and you try to find out about Hakeem Bey, Moorish paradigm, and you're going to get some BS coming up about Hakeem Bey, some European of Moorish Orthodox Church. And then you see a European, and then you just forget about anybody named Hakeem Bey, because if this European could be called Hakeem Bey, then, you know, why would I even consider anything else called Hakeem Bey? When if your ass was studying instead of writing people to try to get on, you would have known about the Journal of the Moorish Paradigm. So we'll just give you a taste. We're just going to slap you a few times so you can see that it's not all about Taj Street Bay for Moors who study. He's just another Moor that has wealth of information and had the heart enough to share everything that he knew about what this is about. You know, lecture and all that stuff like that, all that BS. Not entertainment stuff, go around there and do lectures. He's another Moor, had info. That he knew this info was going to do something to the right Moors who get this info. Sick of you freaking people. Somebody's riding Taj or something. Not riding no goddamn Taj. You riding him. He's another Moorish American out here. You can't say Taj Street Bay and not mention Abdullah Bey. You can't. Well, you know, he teaches about the white man's language and semantics and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, but can't spike the left foot and praise the right foot. You need both of them. Both are relative. Not somebody hired and somebody because of your personal dick riding whatever of somebody that you're dick riding so hard that you're dissing them and you're using their name to get on. You're not even giving them praise. You're dissing. Riders. Know that people are dumb out here, so they're taking the opportunity to keep the dumb people dumb by selling them some BS, selling them some package, selling them some class that's going to help them do whatever. When that's their birthright. But sell them what? Again, going back again to when you start going around and you're learning and you're trying to find out something about Moors or whatever. And all you're hearing people talk about is commerce. They're Moors, but all they're talking about is commerce. But they're Moors. And they're talking about everything is commerce. That's probably a newbie. That's probably a new Jack. Just came yesterday. He's not Kirikou. He's in Pampers. She's in Pampers. And you're listening to them? That's credible? You must be out of your mind. So, FOH with your BS about Taj Tariq fanatics and all this BS. Well, he's not riding him like how you people ride him, using his name and but you're dissing. Using his name but you're telling lies or whatever. Opposed to just not use his name and spit your info. What are you talking about him for? What he have to do with what you're teaching? You talk about, yeah, we do commerce and Taj Tariq Bey filed the UCC back in the day, so that means he's down with commerce. FOH, what are you trying? You might get the dumb people like that who ride Taj's dick. You might get those people, but you're not getting Moors who study. Trust that with your BS. You're getting all these dumb niggers with fezzes on and turbans saying they're Moors. They didn't study one lick. We haven't been to a goddamn library for an hour. Talking about their Moors. How you Moors? What's your track record of being a Moor? So we could check and see, okay, as a Moor, this individual has da 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 and da 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 and da 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 and how much ever whatever the criteria to be qualified for you to even listen to them. Never. Just go on YouTube and go check. See how many people reference Hakeem Bey as a source. They call themselves Moors. They want to talk about, you know, European said something and whoever this individual said something and all these stuff where they got information from. But you're not talking about Moorish paradigm? What do you mean you're not talking about the Moorish paradigm? Oh, because your ass wasn't even around to know what Moorish paradigm is. Moorish paradigm came in and phased out without you even knowing that there was such a thing called Moorish paradigm. And you want to talk about your Moors? You know something? You know something, but you don't know about Hakeem Bey. You don't know jack. Put on your goddamn cameras and all that stuff. Put on your goddamn phone. Stop pretending like you're a scholar. No name Bey. Stop trying to pretend like you're a scholar. Like these vampire Moors with gold fangs and stuff like that. You think they're not sucking you? Take your finance, buy fangs, and then you're listening to them. You're not listening to Moors who've been out here doing work for years for nothing. Moors going broke, trying to uplift these dumb motherfuckers out here. Moors going broke. Moors realizing what's up, coming together, unifying. You know the Moors in Virginia? Like, you know those Moors have the so-called government of the United States, whatever, calling them to find out about what should we put on certain documentation or whatever like that, so that if your people happen to be whatever, they have a thing, a box. They're not doing some SF-181 BS. They're not filing no UCCs or nothing like that. They're quote unquote RV Bay Moors, like how people talk. They're Moors who have a quote unquote nationality card from the Great Seal, which provides what they're doing through the RV Bay Publications website. Now, what's more important? How much views this guy has? Or when you go to a certain jurisdiction, you're going to go anywhere, pick up a form, and then it's going to say there's a box where you could check as a Moor. What's more important, views or that? What's more important, views or you being able to go to the Grand Sheik of your Moor Science Temple of America and get him and another witness of your temple or of your body of Moors to witness your paper so your child doesn't have to get immunized? What's more important, that or YouTube views and Facebook views and thumbs ups? There's Moors out here that stay working. You don't know those Moors because they're working. But I know those Moors because they linked me to say, yo, Islam Grand Sheik was good. I saw class last week. That was funny. We got a good one again and all that stuff. And they go back about their business until, you know, there's a reason for us to communicate. Other than that, Moors out here working, waking up our people. If not waking them up, having them stop and, you know, why are you wearing that stuff on your head or whatever? What's that you have on your head? Where do you get that? Whatever their response is, well, they know what's up. They've seen something that they never saw ever in their life. You have the most, and I know because as a quote unquote Moor that has a job, I'm a Moor on my job. Forget not a name of something, some paper says a name of whatever. No, my interaction with other individuals, people, that is what it's about. That's why I said, like, we rub elbows with not just Taj Tariq Bey. All you people who panic, we rub elbows with Bobby Hemmett. You know him. We supported him in his getting the information out to the people by bringing him here. I tell you, we call Dr. Kaba Khamenei right now. He's going to pick up the phone and say Islam. Because that's what it is. He's talking to a Moor. He's a Moor. He knows what's up. They just rub elbows with Taj alone like he's the all and be all, nothing else matters. Kind of idiotic thinking is that? One guy? That's like saying Jesus is the only prophet. Or you don't recognize no others or whatever. Have people messed up. Hey, hold on a second. Didn't you say that you're a Muslim? Yeah. So why you wear Buddhist beads? Because I'm Buddhist. But yesterday, you had a yarmulke on. Yeah, because I'm Jew. But all those are different religions. But how many gods are there? Yeah, but all those are different religions. Yeah, but how many gods are there? You can't be every religion, and then everybody just doesn't want to deal with the fact that they've been played because they chose not to study. They wanted to follow some BS that they saw some guy said. Some guy said, this book is the book of whatever. Follow this. Never gave you any information for you to see how you're connected to your ancestors. Everybody says it's a throw over there. And when you look where that lands, that's where your ancestors were. We are ancestors. And one thing about the Moorish paradigm is that the Moorish paradigm at all times, no matter whether you're talking about history or law or identity or economics or technological, whatever, Noble Juali is always in there. No exclusion of the Prophet Noble Juali in the Moorish paradigm. Zero exclusion. 13 books on all types of different topics. And every book has Noble Juali in it. And again, this is work that's out there that even if he's not here anymore, even if he just disappeared, the work that he put out in the Moorish paradigm is going to be here forever. So we're exhuming the Moorish paradigm today. Not wholly, just to stress the point of who the hell are you guys repping. I don't know where none of you people came from that call yourself scholar of something today. None of y'all call yourself Moors here teaching something. 2%, I know. Everybody else, people. And I'm very skeptical of them. Very. Very. In Emmanuel Velikovsky's book, Ages in Chaos, he gets into the historical records showing the political, economic, and social consequences of these cataclysms of 1500 BC. Of prime importance to us at the moment is the important connection he makes showing that the people who invaded Egypt, known as the Hyksos, were a people who left Arabia and the regions to the east of the Red Sea as a result of these said cataclysms. They were referred to in the Bible as well as by Muslim historians as Amalekites, Amalekeites. These same people were referred to by the Egyptian as Amu, Amu, also known as Hyksos or Shepherd Kings. Amu or Omaya was a designation for an Amalekite man. The Amu or Hyksos were the Amalekites. Ages in Chaos, Emmanuel Velikovsky. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa, they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan, the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourn from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from the northeast and southwest Africa, across the Great Atlantis, even onto the present North, South, Central America, and also Mexico and Atlantis Islands before the great earthquake which caused the Great Atlantic Ocean. Holy Quran of the MSTA, Noble Drew Ali. I will set out to prove that these are the same people referred to by Noble Drew Ali as Moabites, Canaanites, Hamathites, Hittites, Amorites, etc. Noble Drew Ali says that they were given permission to settle Egypt and the lands to the west of Egypt, North, West Africa, also North, South, and Central America. Abul Feda, 1273 to 1331, in his history of pre-Islamic Arabia, wrote, there were Egyptian pharaohs of Amalekite descent, Ages in Chaos, Emmanuel Velikovsky. The pharaohs who gave permission to settle these lands were the Hyksos Amalekite pharaohs. And the people who they were given permission to settle were their own relatives. This is what accounts for the mysterious disappearance of the Cushites in large numbers from Arabia, Syria, Jerusalem, Mesopotamia, Elam, etc. They left these lands in large numbers and traveled west and mixed with their Hamitic brothers and sisters who were already in those lands. We are the result of this mass migration and intermixture. The key of civilization was and is in the hands of the Asiatic nations. The Moorish, who were the ancient Moabites and the founders of the holy city of Mecca. Holy Quran of the MSTA, Noble Drew Ali. Ages in Chaos, Emmanuel Velikovsky. The Amalekites supported the Canaanites. This explains the reversal in the progress of the Israelite penetration into Canaan and their occasional status as vassals. The Amalekites ruled over vast territories, and their colonial politics allied themselves with kindred nations. This is the ground for the Hebrew tradition that the Amalekites posed as Moabites, Canaanites, and other peoples, and in this disguises carried out on war against the Israelites. The Midianites were close kin of the Amalekites, related since the days when the one people occupied Mecca and the other lived in Medina. Together, they often invaded the land of Israel just before the harvest. Let us now see why Noble Drew Ali said that we were the founders of the holy city of Mecca. Here is the definition of Amalek from the Encyclopedia of Islam. The Amalekites of the Bible, Muslim historians differ as the genealogy of Amalek. According to some, he was descended from Land. According to others, from Apashad, while others consider him a Hamite. The Amalek are generally considered to be the remains of one of the most ancient Arab tribes of the same descent as Tassum, Diodis, and Thamud. The Arabs say that after the confusion of tongues, God himself taught the Amalek the Arabic language. The great antiquity attributed to them has led the Arabs to identify them with other biblical peoples. According to them, the Canaanites and the Philistines, hence also Goliath and Jalat, were Amalek, who were also the pharaohs of Egypt. Hijaz was moreover inhabited by his people, and it was against the Amalek of Vathrib that Moses sent a body of Israelites with the orders to exterminate them. Notice that Amalek is considered by the Arabs themselves to have been representative of the oldest nation of peoples of Arabia. Also notice that they are sometimes considered to be descended from Ham and sometimes from Shem. We have already discussed in issue number 4 how the children of Ham and Shem are often confused. This is due to the fact that the children of Shem are a branch of the children of Ham. The reason for the separation would seem to be the result of the biblical compilers and some agenda of theirs, which we'll examine deeper in later issues. Also notice that the Amalekites were the first people to speak the illustrious language of Arabic, and that they were said to have been taught Arabic by God himself. This is not an honor of small import, since one of the greatest claims to fame of the later Moorish Islamic Empire was the beauty and grace of the Arabic language. In most of the Arabian histories, it says that the Amalekites were the original founders and keepers of Mecca, which was a sacred site among the Cushites. The Cushites often sent delegations there to pray in times of crisis. Ages in Chaos by Immanuel Velikovsky. The Amalekites ruled in Mecca, and from their central position on the Great Peninsula, dominated other Arabian tribes. All parts of Arabia, Felix, Arabia Petrea, the Arabia Deserta alike were within reach of their bows. And then came the upheaval. The Amalekite conquerors came from Arabia, but apparently they had Hamitic blood in their veins. Adolfeta, an Arab scholar of the 13th century, wrote, Shem, son of Noah, had several sons, among them Laud, to whom were born Pharis, Jorjan, Tazim, and Amalek, thus ascribed to these tribes a primeval existence. Encyclopedia of Islam. Thamud, the name of one of those old Arabian peoples with which the Ad, Aram, Wibar had disappeared some time before the coming of the Prophet. A series of older references, not of Arabian origin, confirm the historical existence of the name and people of Thamud. Thus, the inscription of Sargon of the year 715 BC mentions the Thamud among the people of eastern and central Arabia subjected by the Assyrians. We also find the Thamudines mentioned in Aristo, Ptolemy, and Pliny. Amalek is also connected with the other ancient nations of Arabia, such as the Thamud referred to in the Holy Quran. The ancient people of Thamud were said to be giants. This was often said about the Hamites and Cushites by later peoples. This was due to massive megalithic structures, temples, pyramids that were built all over the world by our ancestors. So when we talk about our history and our connection to this culture that we identified as Moor or Moorish, it is quite obvious that Newbie Ali was right in his position of telling us to think like our ancestors. Because if we interpret, going back to the mind state of our ancient forefathers, you have to think giant in order to create megalithic things. You have to think beyond the scope of thinking to really appreciate what a pyramid is. 50-ton bricks. And then they're showing you the picture with the guys with the rope pulling these bricks up the slope of the whatever. But, you know, if they were giants, those 50-ton bricks are now like regular bricks to a giant. Newbie Ali set the stage for Moors to be free. But it appears that Moors want to be and stay enslaved. And then they're thinking that somebody has a job, that's slavery. When slavery is really you not knowing yourself. Slavery is really thinking that this is bigger than changing your mindset. You think this is about having all these books stacked up or whatever like that? You read them all. Now what? Well, I guess get more books. And then what? Hopefully have this stuff that you pass it down to somebody else to have it. Since you can't take everything with you. This is about knowledge of self. It's not about some paper that somebody sold you. Speaking about paper somebody sold you. Right? Now, Moors know that we've been put it on the record. That this is not something that, that we're just mad at somebody, so we make a video about them or whatever. Like, we're really putting things in perspective. So people could really see the divine in this and really see the national in this. And really put their minds in a different place. Right? Really put their minds in a different place. Like we said, when we were coming up, 2008, the only people who were talking BS about RV Bay publications and Taj Tariq Bay and any active Moors was dirty Moors of the Moor Science Temple. There was no Moors other than either you're down with the active Moors or you're a Moor in the temple. It wasn't what you're seeing today, all these Aboriginal, indigenous, Moorish people or whatever like that. They know that wasn't going on. Right? You were, like we said, you're Washita, which is not Aboriginal, indigenous, BS. Those are Moors. Moors Order of the Round Table. Great Seal, which includes, you know, Clock of Destiny and Circle of Mothers and Sons and all that stuff. Journal of Moorish Paradigm. And Moorish Divine National Movement, ones that are doing stuff properly. Regardless of what sellout happened or whatever like that, they tried their best to keep this thing together that Noble Drew Ali presented for the Moors. If you weren't that, you were the people talking BS. And the only activity was coming from those Moorish associations. Which also, keep in mind, all of them knew each other. It wasn't like they're over there, they're over there, people were part of different ones. Everybody was linking up, going to each other's lectures, going to each other's classes or whatever. Now, speaking of writing, you're not writing some RV Bay publications. It's not just because you just heard somebody say that, oh yeah, RV Bay Online University. That's not somebody just said that. That was that in 2008. You ain't going nowhere else to get that in 08. As far as getting info now, not, you know, you proclaiming you're a Moor, nationalizing, you have a body of Moors that you can work with. That was the first group that we're talking about. Right? Those 5 that we mentioned, right, those were civic-minded, active Moorish groups of Moors that were having serious success. Remember, 08, we already told you about right to travel, driving in the fleet, going through red lights and all of that. Wasn't an issue for Moors. Anybody honking for that? Those are the Moors. This is how it was. This is why when these people start talking their BS, they go on Facebook and they talk their BS. Right? And the master teacher's point is go study. Yeah, I'm giving you info that might work or whatever. But that doesn't mean just take it and then do it because I said at a lecture, do this or whatever. Go study. Because you heard trust at a lecture tomorrow, you're going to go write a trust. What are you talking about? What about divine warning by the prophet for the nations? Oh, you don't even know what that is. Oh, okay. Well, good luck with your trust over there. Oh, good luck with those UCC papers. You don't know Noble Drew Ali's birthday. Good luck. Oh, you're right to travel? Good luck with that if you don't know how old your flag is. Keep not studying. Get left. Because we've been left already. And they left on their own because they just weren't ready for really what this is. We're not talking about the sincere people that left. We're talking about the people who couldn't get their way. They wanted stuff to go their way, and then, you know, they got silenced, muzzled, whatever like that. Then they step off and start talking BS. Like Jermaine Farmer Bay, who used to go, was down with being Moors. You talking BS about Moors? who been exercising and did so much stuff for Moors, you weren't even around. You're a dumb nigger probably selling dime bags. You're no more. We're putting in work so that our people could wake up. Y'all playing? Really playing. Do you think that it's a joke? Think we're not on the divine side and we don't know what we're talking about? You think we're not saving our people out here? Think we're saying we're more Science Temple and we're some type of 501 Herds Revised statute BS? We're not that. We're actually out here saving people. Now don't look at Grand Sheik or whatever like that. It has nothing to do with Grand Sheik. This has to do with everybody who proclaimed their nationality, declared their nationality, and they're out there being Moors that study. Yeah, they might not be at class every week or whatever, but their dues up to date. They pay their dues and stuff like that. And if they're not in class, they're studying. Because this is their birthright. And if they don't protect this, dirty Moors are going to do whatever it is that they do. Which they've been doing. And again, them trying to do stuff. Them trying to do things. And not even realizing how deep it is that they buried themselves. There's a lot more.
There's a lot more. Peace and love.
Peace and love, yo. So
Are we live?
yeah, we're good. We're good right now. So, you know, what I was just talking about was recognizing who's who and you know, not getting played by these people. And the fact that we've already put out certain things to let you know how dirty these people are.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Right?
Couple times.
Few times well. And for people to be getting played shows that there's a problem with the people. And the problem is they don't study.
Yes.
The people want to be tailored to.
Yeah, they want to be tailored to, or they want to be led.
Or they want to be led.
Yeah.
Not knowing that they're getting led to the slaughter. So just put your appellation on the record board and just let me know what went down with our friends there.
Okay. I want to say Islam to all the Moors online and all the Moors that are listening and watching. I am Osiris El Bey, and so I think it was yesterday I was on the road in my neighborhood, and as usual I'm fenced up, and then this lady was driving past and she just pulled over on the side of the road where I was, blocking traffic, but she had to have my number, right? And I said, okay, I give you my number, go ahead, call me later, because you're blocking traffic, whatever the case is. So today now she called me and she asked me if I know a Pacific Dirty Moors that we dealt with numerous times.
Before you do that, Um, I don't know if they're referring to you or whatever, but somebody in the chat said that this sound like a European.
That who, me?
Yeah.
Well, we are the original Europeans, so. Hey, so hey, I'll take that. It's all good.
say burnt copper.
I maybe they want to hear some yadi. They want to hear some yadi now.
Give him some yadi. Give him some yadi.
You don't know. Yeah, man.
Yeah, boy, carry on, yo.
Yeah, so the Empress called me today, right? So she's like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to know about my birthright and my nationality and proclaiming. And the dirty Moor that we all know and that we all already put on blast, do I know him? I'm like, yeah, I know him, but he's dirty. And she's like, how? How's that? Well, is he charging you? I go, yeah, he's charging me $5 grand. Well, doesn't that sound dirty to you? She's like, well, it sounds a little much, but, you know, for your birthright and nationality, like, you know, then it's worth it. I'm like, well, you know what? The same stuff that he's selling you, he got it for free. So what do you think about that? Well, she wants to hear more. So I kind of broke down the story about him. That's what he does. He goes around and he's trying to put back Moors into slavery. Right? Basically, she's telling me about he's getting them Moorish passports. I'm like, Moorish passports? That sounds like he's going back to slavery because passports are for ships or for Europeans. Yep. So, but anyhow, so basically she told me that she had another sister lined up that has some immigration problem and another Moor lined up that has a case. Right? So, like, they look like they're in desperate situations, so obviously they're just going off in the slaughter.
Yeah. Just because of and then that's the other part too of it, that the other part of it is that if these people are saying you know, whatever game that they pull, right? How are you looking at you being where you were and her driving up at that time and seeing you jumping out the car? Like, is that just merely, you know, happenstance, or?
Well, I told her, and what I told her is that the ancestors was guiding you. Because the fact that I don't really, I mean, I'm in my neighborhood with my friends, but more time I'm probably in the conveyance, so I'm not really always walking on the road.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, you're more easier to be spotted on the road than if you're in the conveyance.
Right, yeah.
So, right, so the funny thing is, she lives right across the next building, right? So, for her to see me at this time, where she never saw me like within the last year ever.
Yeah.
You know, so I told her it's the ancestors, because basically saying that the dirty Moor, he went across to, I guess, across the border to be with his affiliates over there, dirty Moor affiliates.
Yeah.
And they're just waiting for him to come back to see what the case.
Who knows? They probably were at the Taj lecture.
Who knows?
Fronting like they're Canaanland Moors and shit. Cujo sent us and shit.
You never know with people, because like she told me when she first met him, she met him at the mall. You know? And he came to her with when she saw him, he has fronts, like gold fronts or silver fronts.
Yeah.
with fangs.
Yeah.
So to her, she thought that was kind of weird, but because she's thinking more was kind of like a little bit on the religious side as well.
Right.
Right. So like I told her, well, that should have been your first red flag.
Yeah, straight up.
Not that Moors can't be themselves. If you want to wear fronts, that's no big deal.
Right, right.
But the fact that a first impression is always a good impression, you know what I mean?
Right.
And coming with fangs, like, you know, he just played out himself because he's a vampire, an energy sucker, and he wasn't going on with fangs.
Straight up. And she almost got sucked too.
Exactly.
She almost became a victim.
Yes.
You know.
But like you said, Grand Sheik, like, and the same thing I told her, like, you know, if you guys study, and, you know, you did yourself due diligence by doing some kind of study, and then a lot of the stuff would have, you'd have seen a red flag. Right? Even if you're not up to speed, like, you know, certain words that have been studying for years, but certain little things you'd have known, red flag. Just like how the fang was a little bit of a red flag to you, then you'd have realized that, you know what I mean, certain things, I mean, it's more saying, it's just, but like you said, when Moors are desperate or, you know, Moors don't study, then they're going to get played, so.
And then one more thing too, what, how are you inspired to declare your nationality, and who were some of the inspirations?
Well, for me, well, put it this way, for me, I basically was studying everything except for Moor science. You know, spirituality, conspiracy theory, whatever you can name it, I studied it. And what first inspired me was I saw Moors in court, right? And that really inspired me, not because they had an absolute victory or they said case dismissed, because we don't know what really went down, but the fact that the respect that they had in the courtroom or the so-called administrative office blew my mind, because I've never seen anybody stand on their square, no lawyer, and command respect like that. And I had to know who were these Moors. I had to know. So that was my inspiration. And then, I mean, I thank the ancestors and Allah that, you know, they grant us a temple in Canaanland more, and, you know, and basically my cousin used to come to the temple, and I met Amari through him, and, you know, the rest is history. So for me, knowing since 2013 till now, I told the lady, like, I didn't even get my nationality card till last year.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't proclaim my nationality maybe 2 years ago. So you have to, people thinking you're going to jump in and get remedy, this is the mistake that they make. Anything that sounds too good to be true is probably too good to be true.
Say that again.
Anything that sounds too good to be true is probably too good to be true, because the way she was talking, he was just setting them up big time, all these big talks.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got their mouth drooling and everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He said they were eating out of his hand. For real. That's crazy.
Well, you know, maybe, you know, I'm just glad that, you know, the ancestors and Allah put me in a situation to help us some Moors. And maybe, you know, the Moors that, the individual that you brought to light, to me, she sounds like she really wants to know about her nationality, just that she met up with the wrong Moor.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, she said, you know, she wants to come to the temple, so I'm going to invite her and stuff, and deal with her a little bit, and, you know, hopefully, you know, as we say, everything is history.
Straight. Yeah. This is boy. Give thanks, yo. Keep
I
up,
like Grand Sheik.
keep up the good espionage.
You don't know. You don't know all of the Moors that worldwide.
Yeah, that one didn't sound European. All right,
Moors, I'll be listening online.
Islam, more peace and love, yo.
All right, Grand Sheik, peace and love.
These boys out here tripping. 1,500. 1,500. No, 5,000. 5,000 times 3. 15,000. These Moors have done lost it. Lost it, I tell you. They lost it. There's no way. No way. Like there's no way you have a conscience if you're taking 15 grand for some papers. You have no conscience. You're just a shell. Something's in there. I don't know what's in there. Something's in that. Something's in that. Watch out for them. They are on the loose right now. They're on the loose, talking all crazy, thinking like you're just gonna talk crazy just because you're cool. You're cool. You're cool.
Peace and love, Moors, everybody. It's early in the morning. It's about, let me see here, 5:53 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Mars Day, Tuesday, as they like to call it on the Roman calendar, of course. Before I go on this video, I just want to make it clear that I respectfully say, though some of the stuff I'm going to say may come across, I suggest that if you are a RV Bay publications fanatic, which means that you do not have the capability to think logically, then you need to stop listening here. Go ahead and stop listening right here, because what I've noticed in my experience when it comes to RV Bay publications, Moors are fanatics. They don't think logically. They give these people a God power over them, and they get offended for every little thing that is said about RV Bay publications. Me, myself, and in my experience as well, I've been one of the many to come out and speak out against anybody who's had anything ill to say towards or about RV Bay publications, just because I've learned so much through the site in my years. You can go back to months ago, last month, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. You can find plenty of videos in my video catalog here on YouTube showing that I've spoken out against these fuddy-duddy ass Moors who've had things to say about the work that RV Bay publications is putting in. Anybody who's been following me, that I've been on that since forever. But after a while, it was never for a fanatic reason. It was just because I respected so much of what they did, and I just respected a lot of what they were doing. And, that's why I was really just kind of standing up for them, because they weren't going to come out and say nothing. Not that they wouldn't defend themselves, but it's like they ain't have time to pay attention to that. They putting in work.
So keep in mind, right? Just like all the rest of them. Yeah, they used to ride with RV Bay publications. I used to go on that website and use that website, and those Moors are, putting in the work. Not that they can't defend themselves. I'm going to defend them because they're busy putting in the work.
So if you don't have the ability to think logically when it comes to that, then you need to leave this video. But I'm going to move forward. I also, as you guys also know, yesterday I just did a video entitled something about those Moors at that university really are going to be mad. And you saw me having a magnetic card reader and writer so that I can input data into the magnetic strips on the Moorish national identification cards that we are going to be issuing through Moorish Nationality Card Services membership.
All right. Moorish Nationality Card Services membership, right? Moorish Nationality Card Services membership. Moorish Nationality Card Services membership. The world's leading Moorish Nationality Card Service. Provider since 2014. Keep that date in mind, all right? Provider since 2014. Just keep that date in mind.
And I noticed, and I'm not doing this video because of this, but after I did that, I noticed I went from 2,000, what was it? I went from 5,215 subscribers, I think, to 5,207 subscribers after that I did that video. And of course, I expected it. Give me a second here. And of course, I expected that very much so. I expected to lose some subscribers due to the fact that I know a lot of Moors are fanatics, and you need to look up the definition of fanatic. They have a mental issue when it comes to RV Bay publications. So I already knew that was going to happen. And the reason why I even did that, entitled that video, that was for the simple fact that when you have RV Bay publications talking against Moors the same way that other Moors have been talking against RV Bay publications for years, when you have RV Bay publications saying that Moors are trying to sell them into slavery and things of this nature, they're saying the same exact thing that other Moors have been saying about them for years. They're saying the same exact thing that Moors have been saying about them for years, right? So when you hear RV Bay publications come out and they're talking about Moors issuing out nationality cards with barcodes on them are trying to sell you back into slavery, let's just be clear on this. We know who they're talking about. They're talking about Al-Akazab and Yashar El. They're talking about Moorish nationality card services, because even though you do have the brother in Texas, Walter Bay, who makes Moorish national identification cards with the barcodes on them and things of this nature, he is not selling as much as I am, okay? His name is not out there as much as mine is when it comes to the Moorish national identification card. None of them have more links out on the internet right now as we speak than I do when it comes to the Moorish national identification card. So when RV Bay publications are saying that Moors are trying to sell you back into slavery by utilizing national identification cards with barcodes on them, they're talking about me. So that's why I did that. That's why I did that, because
no, the part that he's not going to tell, because then if he tells that, then that blows up his whole stuff. The part that he's not going to tell is that he's such a fanatic that he took a RV Bay Publications book and was selling it as his own. And there's the video right there, 22,000 hits on it 1 year ago. He has the Moorish secret about how not to pay taxes at work and all that stuff, but then he's getting that from an RV Bay Publications book. That he even has the Moorish Heritage and History School stuff showing to show you that he's a biter. The only reason he's making a nationality card is because of RV Bay Publications. Because he's a biter. What happened to biter? Back in the day, nobody respected biters. Now what are you guys doing? You guys give a biter 22,000 views. When he's a biter. You know what that says? That says that the people don't study. The people want a follower. The people want a tail to chase. The people want a tail to chase. This guy's selling a RV Bay Publications book on his website to get on. Right? Remember, this is to get on. This is to gain the popularity to be a YouTube guy, because these people don't want to go out and work. They want to sit on their house or sit in their car or sit in their washroom, make you a video, have you send them finance for stuff that's not even theirs, and then get mad and start talking about they're stopping some type of money or whatever. You ain't getting no money for freaking uplifting fallen humanity. Who's getting money for this? What money are you getting? Only money we're getting is to keep this stuff going. Nobody retiring off being conscious. Nobody retiring off being more. I didn't say that nobody's broke or nothing like that. I said nobody can sustain themselves by doing something to generate some type of finance to live. I'm saying selling books, selling CDs, selling DVDs, doing classes, doing lectures. There's no money in that. Unless you're one of these rapists out here that's going to tell you $6 grand for a lecture. And then your dumb ass is going to pay instead of going and studying. You can take that $6 grand, go study. And you could take that $6 grand, give it to some Moors to go who know law and who know about acquiring foreclosed property the proper way. And with $6 grand, you can get 7 buildings. But are you going to give this guy $5 grand for some papers? You're going to give this guy $5 grand for some papers. And oh, you know I'm going to call you right now, just because I know you must have something. You must have something to put on. You know I'm going to call you. You know. You might have to do a separate one if you don't answer. We're going to do another one this week. Hey, boy. So hold on a second. Let me just get this thing set back up right here. All right. So let's just listen to a little more. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Because people talking crazy for what I hear.
Because I know they're talking about me. They know that they're talking about me, but they just don't want to say it. You know, they want to come out and present it in a classy way and act like they're trying to warn you. When really at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it real. The whole reason why they're coming out and telling that lie about me, about Moorish nationality identification card services, is because we have been putting a dent in the money that they've been making probably since around 2016, when things really started going hard for us, right? Probably since about 2016, they've been noticing a less amount of money coming in. Probably since 2016, they've noticed that Moors have been coming to them to nationalize and get the paperwork, but they haven't been getting the nationality cards from them. You want to know why? Because they've been getting the nationality cards from Moorish nationality card services.
Now, one more thing to put out there. The reason why he's mad is because he already put on record he doesn't want to have a job. And he's the one that's losing finance. That's why he's lying right now. The reason why he's lying right now is because I can tell you personally, Moors who have proved that card is some BS. Because when they got the swipe, it said that they're a foreign national. And they felt like a dumbass because they dissed Great Seal, who produced a nationality card, didn't produce a nationality card for freaking years for Moors out here who are competent. He dissed them, go follow this guy, swipe the card, and he, in his own studying, realized that he got played because when he swiped the thing, it said foreign national. Do not detain foreign national. And he's like, well, hold on a second. What do you mean I'm a foreign national if I'm in my own land? This is just a Moor that studies, that had the same concept. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to get the papers from Great Seal, but I'm going to get the card from him because they have the barcode on it. Because when you have the barcode, that means that's the real card, because the Real ID Act says the barcode is what's going to make the card be a real card and all this BS. When we just told you that the Moors near Virginia, they got a allodial nationality card, and U.S. is calling them to say, how can we assist in any type of way with you Moors? Where's a lot more?
Now, Grand Sheik, you remember in the video, he put in there, he even said he didn't know what he was doing when he put the barcode on there. He just did it because he thought it looked good.
Right.
He didn't even know. He just did it because he thought it looked good. And then now it says foreign national. And another thing, I'm glad you put that thing up there that said the whatever website, Moorish National Card Membership.
Yeah. World's leading Moorish nationality card service. Yeah.
Right. Now, I personally,
and sorry, Moore, and for the record, don't forget fair use, because this is a website. We're just reviewing a website that anybody could click the stuff and go on the website. Anybody could click the YouTube page and go on the YouTube video. All right? Yeah, Moore, go ahead.
Right. Now it says 2014. Right. Now, I personally had the phone call with him 3 years ago. I talked to this Moor and taught him about what was going on with taxes, free nationality, and stuff like that, because he came in Hebrew Israelite. He's an Israelite. He came in with that concept, and he called me, and I broke down everything. He took the information and did this. Now this is different. Now, and that's the other thing. I don't know how it could be 2014 when he started, when he was an Israelite in 2014, because he called me in 2015. And I told him about Noble Jew Ali. He didn't even know about the Prophet or anything like that. He called me. I was at the Job at this time. It took like 3 hours on break at the Job, just thinking I'm building
3 hours on break.
Right. Thinking I'm just building with a more, just coming into the information, not knowing, that 3 years later this would be happening. It's crazy how that can happen. Like I'm witnessing it right now, because I personally talked to him. He didn't, because he was just amazed how Moors were not paying taxes, but he was an Israelite. But what got him hooked was the taxes thing. And then I broke down to him straight that first, it's Noble Jew Ali. If you ain't understanding that, nothing works. So then he had to understand who or comprehend who the prophet was. So that's how he came in on that information. And then now he's doing this and taking Mrs. or taking the literature and selling it.
Yeah. Yep. Take it. And that was probably 2 years ago.
Right.
Or 1 year ago. What did they say on here? Yeah, 1 year ago. 1 year ago, Jack and RV Bay Publications booked to get on, now talking crazy about RV Bay Publications after he made a name for himself. After he got barcode, whatever, and then now they upgrade. Now they got the new barcode stuff they can put on the new. So what happened to all the old people now? So all the old people stuff is what they got to pay again?
Right.
To fix the stuff that you're doing, the new stuff. Because remember, he goes on in the same video about new and improved and all this type of stuff. So if you got something new, then what happened to all the old people? They're hung out to dry with the BS that you gave them about their foreign national, but there are more. You got anything else, Mark?
And you can see in his videos all the Moors who was complaining about waiting to get their cards and stuff for him. And he just started saying their information on public view for everybody to see it.
Yeah, but this,
telling them
right?
all the information where they can go get their cards and whatever from. But it was all because people were waiting forever for their cards.
No. But why? Why is it that's going on? Watch this. Watch, because comments are disabled for this video. Because now people can't complain. Because the only way you're gonna get a hold of them on the public record, because that's what hurts them when you expose them. When you expose them for the frauds, yeah. When they're exposed for the frauds that they are, that's when they go back in their hole, and they never come out again. Because they played too much people, not because Cujo said something. Because too much people got played. Anybody you see, they got video talking about comments are disabled, they're playing me. Because this is a public forum. They're practicing tyranny, telling you that you can't comment. They're telling you don't have a right to free speech on their video. But they're telling you about nationality cards and all that stuff, but you don't have a right to free speech on their video. You think they're constitutional to you? Comments are disabled. You don't even have a choice to make a comment on this. But you're going to go get a card though. You're going to not go to RV Bay Publications and start studying. You're going to listen to these fools out here that call themselves Moors, trying to make a name for themselves instead of go get a job. And stop raping people. Stop charging people for stuff that is frivolous. And frivolous because who are you? What do you mean you have a nationality, whatever, to sell somebody? And you just came yesterday? Like what? Like how what do you mean?
Everyday publications addressing their lie. He stole their literature.
Stole their stuff. Like he stole their book, has it on his site, selling it or whatever, selling it on Facebook, have this Moorish marketplace, whatever going on, selling other people's stuff that you know is a top seller. Because that was one of the original books. So that book's been around, been helped people. People been got help using that book. Been got helped. You not even plug the website? That's no different. I'm watching Moors in America, and Moors in America's on there, and they're talking whatever it is they're talking, and then they put up Mizraim, they put up Mizraim's book or whatever, and then he's sitting there talking with the book cover right next to him or whatever like that, and you're not even mentioning how people can get the book or whatever. You're just posing with that, trying to get on, trying to jack energy. You didn't plug the website where you got that picture from, because that picture is only coming up on the website. Or unless you have the book and scan that into your computer yourself and convert it to a JPEG. But if you have the cover for that book in your video, you know where you went to get that. How come you didn't plug where so people could go get the book? Why are you posing like that, some type of picture of some indigenous whatever?
Right.
I mean, you're posing with.
Look at that, Grand Sheik, because
because Europeans don't do that. When a European has another European's literature, they be like, oh, there's a great scholar who wrote in his.
Oh, they plug him hard. They plug him hard.
They promote him.
Hard.
They big up him. You know, they tell you, like, that's where I'm getting it from. Like, they have to say it like that.
Yep. Like, they're going to call him up, do a live interview and all that.
Right.
They're going to do all that.
But your people, oh, they take it, put it on their website, don't even say nothing about you and jack the price up.
Like, oh, yeah. And then, oh, yeah, let me play a little bit more of this because he said some other stuff here. Going right in line with that.
Right. They've been getting the cards from Moorish Nationality Card Services. So what RV Bay Publications is doing, they're taking advantage of the fanaticism that they know that a lot of you Moors are under. They're taking advantage of that spell so that they know that a lot of you Moors are under. They know that your fanaticism is going to convince you that what we're doing is wrong. They know that your fanaticism. Now, let's just keep it real. The only reason why you have so much...
No, what they're doing is making you a foreign national. Like, that's what they're doing. RVB is telling you Elodio, they're telling you foreign national. You been studying or you just trying to follow something? If you can't pinpoint what's going on here and you really think that you're better off with a barcode that has you a foreign national opposed to you being a Lodial in your own land, then, you know, it is what it is.
That's naturalization.
Naturalizing you in your own land, making you a foreign national on your own soil. And there's no problem with that.
Still keeping you 14, 15 citizen.
Which is why they came out and told you that those barcode Moors are putting you right back into slavery. That's why they said that. They're not saying that because they're talking BS about some Moor out there and he has a better nationality card and they're mad, so they're dissing. Not dissing, they study. Card with a barcode is BS. That's Real ID Act. If these are Moors, why are they following some act, whatever? That you have a barcode on your nationality card. You have a barcode on there? If there was no Real ID Act, there would be no barcodes on anything for anything. It wouldn't even matter.
I remember the mother said, only thing that has barcodes is product.
So if that card with a barcode identifies you and barcodes only go on products, just go check. Just go check. Don't believe what we're saying. You find me something other than a product that has a barcode.
Yeah.
Now do you understand why the whole hoax of and then the Illuminati, and then they're gonna put a barcode on the back of your neck and all that type of stuff, and there's no barcode on the back of your neck or whatever, but it's in your wallet though. That's how they got you. You're dumbass. You're sitting there waiting for these guys to come with the laser gun to give you a barcode on the back of your neck, and that means that you're enslaved. No, all that them cards you got in your pocket with the black thing at the back of it, that means you're enslaved. That means you got the barcode. That means you got the 666. And the only way to cancel that hex is reserve your rights when you sign them contracts. Because this is divine and national. And then making you a corpse, making you civiliter mortus, taking you out of in full life is really witchcraft, not just some bureaucratic slavery and they change some papers. It's really a cult that they're doing on you. It's really Kabbalah, what they're doing on you.
Right.
much fanaticism for RV Bay Publications is simply because they have Taj Tariq Bey residue on their arms, on their elbows, on their shoulders. They brush shoulders with Taj Tariq Bey, and this is where all your love is being misdirected to, right? Okay? And do you know how I know this is a fact? Outside of several Moors telling me this, that they would never spend any money with RV Bay Publications if they found that there was ever an issue between them and Taj Tariq Bey, they would stop spending money with them. But how I know this is an issue, how I know it's a Taj Tariq Bey thing as far as a lot of Moors dealing with RV Bay Publications is because when I found the RV Bay Publications website back in late 2007, maybe early 2008.
You got anything for that one?
Did he turn in his allodial identification card back to RV Bay Publications since he mad at RV Bay? Because he has one. He has an allodial identification card from RV Bay Publications, and he's complaining, but I wonder if he gave his back.
There's a question to go ask him when he takes the block off the comment stuff. Go ask him if he turned in his card that he got. Since he's dissing now. Since he's dissing and that card is BS. Not that he's gonna say, no, I don't use that anymore. It's not even in my wallet. None of that stuff. Turn the stuff back. Make your own card. Does he have a barcode on his stuff? That'd be crazy if he doesn't even have a barcode on his, but he's selling you a barcode.
He has a allodial identification card, but giving out barcode.
And if people were studying like they claim that they were, instead of playing separate something or be divisive or whatever, you would quickly come to your senses that if you take the information from the RV Bay Publications website and you put that next to the information that Taj Tariq Bey is teaching, whether they like each other or not or support each other or not, it's the same goddamn information. It's not different. It's about your nationality and birthrights and you being free mentally. You go to any of them and get information from them, and trust me, that information will do that. Free you from mental slavery that we know that you have right now. Not guessing. You don't think people are dumbed down or assume people are. We know people are lost. We know that. Right? These biters talking crazy. How you biting somebody? Right? Go and check. Where do you think he got the idea for the card that he's even pushing out? How you dissing? Format the same and all that. Only difference is that you got your barcode BS on the back. And people are going to keep playing around. Trying to make a name for themselves. Lying on the public record. Bold-faced lying. Lying just because they can. Because we don't got no mayor of steel for these dirty Moors to ride right now. So they could pretty much do whatever they got to do. Which is why it comes down to the people studying. Because once the people are studying, they're not going to get played by these people. The guy came yesterday and he says his book is the book to save all the people of the world. But there's been a book people have been using for the past 80, 90 years, saving themselves. What the hell you need this guy's book for? How is his book doing anything for you if everything's already in a book that people been using? And then you're crowding around this clown because he has some, you know, he has the banner and then he has the tablecloth with his logo on it or whatever like that. You think he's legit? You think because they got a good intro for their video that they're dropping some info? Oh, they got the mic set up with, and then in the back, they got the picture of what you're watching as the video and they're in it because the green screen and all that stuff. And you think that that's what it's about? Oh, wow, they got that. So they must be saying something for me to say. No, they're playing you. And they will continue to play you because the people continue not to want to go study. Why? Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to just go study? Get the F off YouTube and go study. Go read a book. Stop watching stuff to learn. Go read something to learn. Yeah, but the pages of the, well then you're staying civil little more tooth then. Get played. Civil little more tooth with a fez on or a turban. You know, if that's what it's about, then all right, then do your thing. But don't get mad. Don't get mad because we're calling you out for your BS, because we've been around since 08. You know what I mean? You know, let's just go check the record, right? We've been out here. We've been out here. We've been had our page on the RV Bay Publications website. Why? Because this page is in unity and honor of our brethren Moors in Canaanland, Moors Ancestral Estate National Domicile, North America. It is a post of their activities and other information shared. If we're writing them, wouldn't it mean that we should have a website and then we're begging them to come on our website so that we can get some views on our website because we know everybody goes on theirs? No. We're Moors that are active, that we were cut from a certain cloth when it comes to this information. And we ride with those who are on that frequency to recognize what's what. That's why the card people and the papers people and the 5 grand people and all these people that are out here have some BS to say. Because really the unity is where we're at. The unity is really what active Moors are doing. The Moors who say, study, study, study. We got Noble Drew Ali days. We honor Noble Drew Ali. Every year we honor him. For ourselves, not for somebody. Because we know who Noble Drew Ali is. We rep him. So on his solar return, we honor him. Not some temple, whatever. Because we're Moors. And we know what he brought us. You think we don't know what was brought? We're not influencing change. in a positive direction? Don't be fooled by people who have pretty stuff and on their page and all that stuff. Look for Moors who are working. Look for Moors who are doing something. If you're gonna follow somebody. Don't follow some clown out here that hasn't put in any work. This came yesterday. You're gonna buy something? They don't have anything to show. You're gonna buy something. This is not our newspaper. But there's an article by Kudra Adwell, though, for Moors. We paid our dues. That's why we're on rvbaypublications.com. It's not some writing, they're writing Canaanland Moors Energy or whatever. Or Canaanland Moors writing them. Try to make a name for ourselves and all that stuff. We'll make a name for what? We're recognized on RV Bay Publications, the online university. This is not what you thought. If you're not willing to go study, if you're not willing to go and learn about the truth about your nationality and birthrights, like we're saying, in 2008, you weren't going online and finding anybody talking about Moors like this. It's probably RV Bay and that's it in 2008. Everybody else, you're getting a DVD or something. You're going to a class. It's not no online. Oh yeah, Hakeem had New Atlantis. Again. New Atlantis website, RV Bay Publications. Clock of Destiny, whichever MSTAs that were doing something legitimate, and Washita Moors. Anybody else was a dirty Moor. And they knew that they were dirty, so they just stayed over there in their little corner and they didn't interrupt the gods while they were creating. Nowadays, there are all these demigods around here trying to come up. Everybody on some come up. Straight lying to come up.
Okay, what she say? Let's speak about this sense of entitlement that Moors have. Mainly because a lot of us like to believe that we are the best of everything, but if that's truly the case, why is it that we're in last place? So first off, let's lose the big head, gain some sense of humbleness. I can't stand that word, but it's something that melanated people need, is to become humble, because you actually have to think lower of yourself. That's what humble means, to think low of yourself, in order for you to realize the position that you're in. Because then you will have a realization that you're not as great as you think you are, because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Now, let's really get into the vegetables, not the meat and potatoes. I'm vegan. So let's get into the vegetables of the subject matter here. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I don't care what any one of you say. If you got facts, you bring them to the table. He knew masonry, or what is called to be speculative masonry. Like there's a difference between a speculative mason and an operative mason. See, y'all don't know this, and you're trying to debate me on a subject that you have not even stepped into a lodge on. So therefore, let me clear these things up. A speculative mason is the one that you see dressed in the suit with the regalia on, with the collars and stuff. The operative mason is the one who lays stones and cement and builds buildings.
Right? All these mundane, get commerce, money Mars, that's what they're about. Some mundane, keep you on the lowest vibratory frequency so that they could play you. A speculative mason is one who doesn't know. He's just following the BS. An operative mason is free Moorish master. I self-law am master. I am what I know. As far as the lodge is concerned. The speculative mason speculates about what masonry is. The operative mason operates it. He works it. He does natal chart and all that stuff. He knows about the stars and the alignments, and his stuff is only getting done when the stars are aligned and all that. Other than that, you're not even playing around with doing anything. And these little BS implications of Noble Drew Ali knew masonry. There's no such thing as masonry like that. That's more science. That's why Noble Drew Ali said more science, not masonry. If he was down with something teaching you masonry, he would have said masonry in his teachings. He never said masonry in his teachings. So don't let, again, the new people who just came yesterday try to convince you that they know what's up. These people talk BS about the temple. Oh, it's right and all that, but I'm not going there and all that type of stuff. They got their own organization that they founded. They're not following what Noble Drew Ali laid down. They don't got a Moorish Science Temple or a Moorish Holy Temple of Science or an All Canaanite Temple or a Moorish Divine National Movement. They made up some BS, trying to convince you to go to that for your freedom. But ain't no freedom there. It's enslavement again. Right? Grave diggers, fangs were cool. That's some BS right now. ODB, fangs were cool. Right now, that's some BS. Goddamn 2018. That's the representation for the Moors. Fangs guys, rapper guys. It's going to make people think that oh yeah, this is about getting finance and looking good and having a Benz and having a, and then you could roll around just driving with the palm while you turn the wheel and all that stuff. That's not what Moorish science is about. This is not some style and fashion. This is about nationality and birthrights. It's not about commerce, because that belongs to the people and the people alone. They don't discuss about commerce. It's not even subject matter, because that belongs to the people. And the people alone, that belongs to. So everybody has that already, so there's nothing to talk about. If we go with Noble Drew Ali's teachings. If you go with other people's teachings, then, you know, right? All these people use Noble Drew Ali's name, use RV Bay's name, use Taj's name, try to get on, to play you. Don't follow the guy who mentions Noble Drew Ali. Why don't you just go check Noble Drew Ali's stuff yourself?
Now, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a speculative Mason.
Where's that Mark Fez at? If he was a speculative Mason, then that means he wasn't a lodge. That means he has to have a Mark Fez. I see no picture of him in a Mark Fez. I see pictures of Dr. Ben in a Mark Fez. I see pictures of Dr. York in a Mark Fez. I see pictures of Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. Mark Fez we're talking about. King of Hawaii. I see Noble Drew Ali with a Mark Fez. I see CMB with a Mark Fez, and he was a free Moorish Master Mason. You gonna tell me CMB is a Mason, but he doesn't have a Mark Fez? Or are you gonna say that he's a Moorish scientist? That's why he doesn't have a Mark Fez. As soon as they try to tie it up to make your brothers feel like they were part of some type of lodge and all this BS. We're not talking Dr. Ben and the African Lodge and all that lodge BS. Because those guys have Mark Fezes. So if they had Mark Fezes, then that has nothing to do with Moorish Science Temple, Moorish, Moors, or nothing like that. That's Masonry. NOI had a Mark Fez. Kirkman Bay had a Mark Fez. Those were Masons. And on top of that, you don't even say that Noble Drew Ali is an operative Mason. You say that he's speculative. And you call that some knowledge you're putting on people? Noble Drew Ali is a speculative Mason. He brought Moors back their nationality and birthrights, resurrected the Moorish flag and all that, and he's merely speculative? Noble Drew Ali is a speculative Mason, this man said.
Understanding what masonry is in itself, it is now two parts in masonry. Like I said, it's you building buildings, and then it's you building yourself. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali, once again, was a Mason because he had the ability to build, contract, create within himself, and he also was an Egyptian Adab student. Now, Dr. Ben, part of the African Lodge, Grand Lodge of Luxor.
Hold on. Say that again.
Why did he just slide in contract?
Right? Because they're playing their commerce game. Let's rewind that again. Because they gotta justify, they gotta justify their commerce BS. Just like another video that he was talking about. He's talking about Steve Coakley taught commerce. What? What Steve Coakley taught commerce? The hell are you talking about? Like, that's how you guys are dealing with the ancestors? Yeah, just lie on a man. Say that he was a Mason. You can't show me a Mark Fez or nothing like that. You're going to lie on Steve Coakley that he taught commerce? Like, what do you mean he taught commerce? Like, I seen almost every Steve Coakley lecture, and I ain't never seen nothing that he talked about commerce. Because don't forget, we come from the old school with tapes. We don't come from DVD era. We come from VHS to get knowledge. Big black cases. Now, when you go in somebody's house or whatever like that, and you gotta lug the bag with the DVDs to go watch, you have cases. So don't let these YouTube people try to convince you about some BS.
He said, building contract.
Contract create. It is now two is the one who lays stones and cement and builds buildings.
It's outrageous. It's just outrageous. Like we thought 2-3 years ago that it was outrageous when Moors were coming out the woodworks talking BS, trying to play people. Like it's even crazier right now.
Now, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was a speculative mason, understanding what masonry is in itself. It is now 2 parts of masonry. Like I said, it's you building.
And then also too, remember, keep in mind, always keep in mind these little small nuances to show what these people are about. The egomaniacs always look at the screen, not the camera. They want to see themselves. The egomaniacs who like to jump on whatever and go live and all that type of stuff, you know they're egomaniac because they have a hard time focusing on the camera. They're always looking at the screen, looking at themselves. Why are they looking at themselves? They're talking to you. Why are they looking at themselves? Just go look through all their older videos before they take them down and start switching up and start looking at the camera now. And then you're thinking that, oh, well, they're looking at the camera now, so now we can listen to them. Because Cujo said if they don't look at the camera, no, go look at the old stuff. Bet you they're not looking at their camera. Bet you. Why? Because it's a mechanism in the egomaniac that they can't make eye contact. They can't look in the camera because that means that you will be able to read them. So they have to look down at the screen so that you're not seeing directly into their pupils. So remember, I told you that these people are demigods out here. Don't think that you know, yeah, and they got the fangs and then that's cool. No, they're tapping into their ancestral lineage. Of being the demon seed, the one out here to cause confusion amongst the minds of the people. They can't even make eye contact with you. They can't even make eye contact. They're looking at themselves. Teach you. Think about that. Just go back and look at all the videos. And then one by one, just go to their videos page and then just click one by one. And none of these live people. And you could see, you know what I mean? Just like when, you know that somebody's full of BS when you're making eye contact with you and then they're looking at your nose because there's a booger there, but they're not going to tell you there's a booger in your nose. Be careful out here. Some of your own are going to put you back into slavery. Your own. Right? Let's just see how free. Let's just see how free it is right now. Because there was one that we had to put out there. Just for sure. Just to, we had to put this one out just because. we know that Islam, more power to the Grand Sheik. Peace from Japan. So I got a question, a request, and a comment. Question. Since we are in the age of Aquarius, age of enlightenment, the I know, and just about everything that we watch these days in movies or TV drama format is filled to the brim with truths of all degrees, so much so that it goes over the heads of the uninitiated, besides just giving out the information because that's what the age dictates. What are some other reasons you think they put the info out? Main reason is to escape karmic debt, because they know that the guillotine is swinging right now on anybody who doesn't have any honor. So if they can convince our people to be dishonorable, then they can get the honor without being honorable. They just put out some BS, but go bomb some people's countries or whatever. And then they put out some more stuff, and then they go bring in their mercenaries to go kill people on the street and arrest people for no reason and keep their little game going with, you know, children coming out school dumber and dumber. And you give them a test from 1960s, they'll fail miserably. So they're protecting themselves. That's the only other reason I see why they're putting it out. I don't know if you have something, Brother Yusuf.
That's the same reason as soon as you said it. That's the exact same reason, the karmic debt. They have to. That's the only way. You know, they're not going to give it all out, but they're gonna give certain amounts. Because I asked myself the same question, like, because I know they can control everything anyway. So why is it that they give us a certain amount of stuff to be able to get the research with it? So that has to be the karmic debt.
The request. Because much of what manifests in our reality starts with our thoughts or in the mind, and even though we are in the midst of fluctuating time as the custodians transfer power back to the heirs, I'd like to request that we see ourselves as demigods, angels, superheroes, higher beings, titans, or whatever else that transcends humanity that you gravitate toward. Create an internal life where you are that thing / entity and live it, feed it, be it, bay it. We already followed the will of Allah and our thoughts to think ourselves out from under the Christian black codes. So why not ascend to the next level of reality with it? Right, lev with the EL, level. The comment. I personally think that the reason so many superhero and sci-fi shows are showing up is the will of Allah to show us where we are headed and what mantle we are to put on, as nothing is coincidence. And make no mistake that the Europeans are doing everything in their power to become super. Just more birthright theft. Islam and power to you all. Dionysus Merlin Patel. And just for the Moors out there who think we ain't doing nothing and we ain't one, that's Moors in Japan. In case you think that we're not putting in work out here. That's Moors in Japan Moors. That built with the Moors today. And then there's Moors in Manchuria Moors. Now those Moors always building with Moors in Morocco. This side Morocco, Maghreb. So we already know. Oh, let me just answer this one quick fast. Where can I find information about us using hyphens in the surname? So, opposed to say whatever, like we tell Moors, go study. Go study hyphens. What are they? What are they used for? And ask yourself, if Moors are telling me put a hyphen because the code of the identity, whatever, says that the hyphen has to be there for the international law to give you the reparations money. How come no withdrawal have no hyphen? And how come every time you bring up, hey, why doesn't no withdrawal have no hyphen? They keep bringing, oh, well, that was back then, and they start talking all that BS. So certain things, it's not really about finding information on it. It's about not overthinking stuff, because Moors like to overthink because we have this knowledge now. So now we're thinking more than we used to think. And we apply that to everything, even the common sense stuff that you don't even need to think to know. When the stove is the red stuff, you don't put your hand on it. You don't need to call 50 Moors to find out, you know, well, should I touch this? Because I was studying over here and they said that if you touch it, then you're going to go into the astral realm of the whatever, because the metaphysics guy said. Stop overthinking. And then don't forget, look up surname and what that means. And then why do they have sir in front of name? And then what's a name? And then just you looking up hyphens and sir and name and surname, that should be about an hour. That should lead you so far into some stuff that you even forgot that you were looking up hyphens and surname when you're really studying. When you accept the depth of the rabbit hole, truth would lead you. But only when you accept the depths. Only when you accept the fact that there is a rabbit hole and that it is deep. But you have to be open. You have to be willing. You have to be a willing participant of knowing yourself in order for anything to work for you. But don't forget, before we get too close to 9:15, for those who know us up already, Rise of the Moors presents the sellout of our birthright and conscious community connections. Message to new Moors with eyes wide open. Cujuado L, Riverside Branch Library, 475 Bullocks Point Avenue, Riverside, Rhode Island Territory. Saturday, August 11, 2018, 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Any info you want, you can hit up riseofthemoors@gmail.com. Saturday, August 11th, 10:30 to 4:30, Riverside Branch Library, 475 Bullocks Point Avenue. Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love. You already know. If you're able to make it, we'll see you there. And don't forget, join us 9:30 p.m. MHHS Eyes Wide Open on Blog Talk Radio. Call-in number 347-945-5899. 347-945-5899. 425-569-5201. 425-569-5201. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Peace and love to all. Islam, Moor, you got any closings over there?
This is Islam to all the Moors. Give thanks to the Grand Sheik. And, you know, I see you in Blog Talk.
Islam, Moor. Islam.
No.
Yeah, Moors. So give thanks, Moors. Peace and love to all the Canaanland Moors. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. All the Moors, wherever you're at, keep studying and don't forget, you know what I mean? The online university is a savior. RV Bay Publications. Don't get tricked. Don't get tricked into giving up your stuff. Right? Which RV Bay Publications is one of your spots where you're supposed to go learn. It's been one of your spots where you're supposed to go learn. Because when you go on there, you're going to get info from Moors who are applying this information, not speculative Moors. You're going to be dealing with operative Moors. Moors who've been through the ringer with this. So peace and love to all. And don't forget this Thursday as well, Sons of Allah. The actual factual, you know, because you know last week we did the recovery show, but this week, Thursday, Sons of Allah once again. Islam Moors. Peace more.
Ask a Garveyite and the NOI2. How come you don't know about truth? Ask your teacher, Master Masons, or your seafood. How come you don't know about truth? Go ask your reverend, ask your fam or crew. How come you don't know about truth? Ask the warlocks of rap, sipping evil witches brew. How come you don't know about truth? Elijah Pugay is the Moorish national. Elijah Muhammad is the straw man shadow. New York after Malachi is owned by the British. Zadok L is on the blue waiting for the idiots. Master of gods is Nuwapian's birthright. Teach from Nuwapian Morse paper they want to fight. Circle 7 is the universal flag. I rep that. And Clarence 13X is my dad. Suwali came first to save the mindless masses. Went from Moorish conventions to conscious classes. Went from feathers to kufis to baseball hats. Went from Rasta to Moorish. Replace the outside. Replace the RPG banner with a Moroccan flag. Replace Ross with Sheik. Blacks get toe tag. Till I see Triple Crown is a fez with no tassel. Showing temple cards as I leave with no hassle. Asking the Garveyite and the NOI2. How come you don't know about truth? Ask your teacher, Master Masons, or your seafood. How come you don't know about truth? Go ask your reverend, ask your fam or crew. How come you don't know about truth? Ask the warlocks of rap, sipping evil witches brew. How come you don't know about truth? Illuminate rap and masons, rhyming Moorish science, hip-hop renaissance, reverse Earth's global climate. Out the dark ages, many pages get burned without the chance to flip, be read or turn. No learning, blacks enslaved by the vermin. The Moors victim to Inquisition is purging. The government violating the covenant of contract. Hip-hop general, Iron Sheik, no squad to bomb track. Moors branded like Louisville slugger bass. With a name not theirs, void ab initio contract. Most don't get it, cause they don't study the law. But they come from the galaxy behind the furthest star. To fight legal battles, they hire the bar. Who obtains leave cause you abandoned your rights thus far. Told you on Iron Sheik 2, no need to represent. Just study the prophet and what he presents. Most don't stand for what he defends. Most elders over their mouth, they need depends. Higher self ascends, lower he descends. Conscious without a nation means he pretends. She pretends, which means we pretend. Pick up abandoned birthrights and the healing begins. Build on pillars strong like 7 North alleged twins. Iron Sheik 100%, most are partly skinned. Ask the Garveyite and the NOI2. How come you don't know about truth? Ask your teacher, Master Masons, or your seafood. How come you don't know about truth? Go ask your reverend, ask your fam or crew. How come you don't know about truth? Ask the warlocks of rap, sipping evil witches brew. How come you don't know about truth? You gotta know thyself or know thy death. Know thyself and know thy wealth. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself or know thy death. Know thyself and know thy wealth. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself, it's your duty. Who made him Allah? What is Allah? The feminine primordial 5-point star. Can't be seen, I meet her in the heart. Noble Drew Ali manifests as a thought. Save nations, that's the prophet's duty. Founded before New Jersey turned to New Jersey. Born in NC, 1886, teaching with Moors, not niggas and slicks. Fallen humanity, he came to uplift. I'll say Islamism when you ask what with. Northwest a Mexican angels manifesting. You're not a Mexican but a Mexican. Those are the answers to their questioning. From the cast out laws represented. Higher self is virtues, mother and life. Preach justice, mercy, love and right. The higher self can't fall, will ever stand. Arm, leg, arm-headed man. No hatred, lewdness or slander. Murders, no theft or abuse from anger. MST of AAC chambers. Make young Moors think as Christ with no mangers. Teach the goddess no fear, hex up a stranger. Astral project, death comes in the form of dangers. You gotta know thyself or know thy death. Know thyself and know thy wealth. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself or know thy death. Know thyself and know thy wealth. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself, it's your duty. Coming out the cares of the world on salvation. Holding humanity from the womb comes the nation. 7 days in the circle, 7 days in creation. She replaced the 7 on the Mason apron. Troglodyte cavemen are the ones aping. We are from Asia, Asiatic, not Asian. Olmec and Maroon, not Jamaican or Bayesian. For fiat, dirty Moors are really paper chasing. Like April Fools giving papal dues to the Nazi, Ashkenazi, fatal Jews. Taking directions is not paying dues. Sabir Bey says the news is the daily snooze. Leaving your wife and child to chill with dudes who act like fools. Getting robbed and left in blood and pools. Peace officers always begging the public for clues. You gotta know thyself or know thy death. Know thyself and know thy wealth. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself or know thy death. Know thyself and know thy wealth. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself, it's your duty. What did Sharif Abdul Ali say? We are what our foreparents were yesterday. No need for civil, we got birthrights. We struggle cause in ignorance we love to fight. Argue and quote opinions about religions. Rod taking hybrids of earth in millions. In the new ages, reveal sun pages and so-called holy books of custodial nations. With fraud, there's no statute of limitations. Abandon the original, they fell for imitations. Then fell into skin, they're calling it sin. Light beings can't comprehend the darkness they're in. Trapped like a vesture, body is the tomb. Sisters get knowledge to teach us in the womb. Truth is, you since after first school. Before the water breaks, my son would come out like Kirikou. Gotta know thyself or know thy death. Know thyself and know thy wealth. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself or know thy death. Know thyself and know thy wealth. Know thyself, it's your duty. Know thyself, it's your duty. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. We give honors to the red flag with the green 5-point star. We give honors to the prophet, Sheik, Sharif Abdul Ali. We give honors to the Grand Major Temple, and the grand body. Yeah. Know thyself. It's your duty. Know thyself. It's your duty. Artist union. Yo, my principles. I thought it was dead, right? MK Ultra, King Alfred, Orex 84. Once more Melanites behind cage doors. In front the idiot box, drinking cores, watching sports. At the picnic, first in line for walks. Can't find your mind, some say that it's lost. Moral science says divine souls got tossed, abandoned. Love is my ammo, peace is the cannon. Truth is the ayahuasca talking through the shaman. Freedom is the freedom, justice I must get. Tears fall like no shot with the pilgrim's muskets. The ruckus I bring, but this ain't Wu-Tang. Hold you accountable, Shimitar takes it two hands. Sent up the frankincense from Sudan. Big up to my elder and the God Moses holding up Newbie. Rainbow flag rapping Fruity Loop toucans. Same company got cola and toucans. Different labels. You're navigating L is your label. Make sure rules. Watch the goddess not cable. My property, now the rights of the archives paper. Ex-knights now sheiks of the round table. Ancients return to reclaim and learn how to not to succumb to the combustion burn. Astral projection, as above, so below. So you know off the cosmos we're reflecting. Yo bro, laws of nature, make the sun hate you. Hybrid caucasoid, I'm all pro but not rapanoid. My deep mob, make devil's horns keyboard. Don't get my Islam twisted with jihad. Don't get the Muslim mixed up with Muslims. Don't mistake the Mufti force for hoodlums. We give him back Islam and his story. Taking my story, creating a mis-story. That's what's hidden. It's not called Satanism. Men thinking they're wise, but they lack wisdom. Need I say more? In my proper person, I got judges tearing up the bonds and cursing. I serve law and master. No guns, let God be world and blast you. No need for tabs, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down the steps like the Aztec heads. I serve law and master. No guns, let God be world and blast you. No need for tabs, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down steps like Aztec heads. Most say they ready for consciousness, I doubt it. Application is the path, but some reroute it. The most I can say is, we'll see about it. Mother Nature sets fires and they can't out it. They take votes, I know the truth, but they can't shout it. I plant the seed in your mind at the highest route. Just like Jack's beans, roll a saga sensei scene. Empty ashtray hanging from the loose kente. So we'll be in on the djembe, calling Orishas. Or hailing goddess Manan or the niggas. Red, black, green candles holding flame. Make you think so much and end up with a swollen brain. Cause even she can see that he's in create her. The point creatress is the only creator. I self-law and master. My son now run my birthrights a sound run. God recover. Around me revolving X-Alpha or David Star. I'm shooting at your squadron. Illuminate my higher self, see from afar. I'm so against jail I can't rhyme in bars. I self-law and master. No guns, let God be world and blast ya. No need for tabs, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down the steps like the Aztec heads. I self-law and master. No guns, let God be world and blast ya. No need for tabs, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down steps like Aztec heads. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Artist union. Conscious. Artist union. I self-law and master. Whirlwind blast ya. We got the feds. Aztec head.
El documental When the Moors Ruled Europe explica la historia desconocida de España. Los moors o los musulmanes encontró la ciudad Madrid en el siglo VIII. En esta época, su religión fue Islam. Sin embargo, los moors no tuvieron reglas en religión. Había personas en Madrid que fueron cristianos o musulmanes. Muchas personas quisieron estar moors porque la religión fue una manera para dinero o fuerza y estructura social. En adición a fuerza, la poesía es la parte más importante en la cultura de los moors. El documental también explicó la conexión entre el idioma de los moors, árabe y español. Por ejemplo, la palabra en español química es el mismo en árabe. En adición, los moors, en particular Abu Rahman, crearon the Great Mosque of Córdoba. En este mosque puedes oír todas las palabras. Es terrible a mí que muchas personas en España en esta época no saben que sus antepasados son moors. Es un problema similar con personas no saben que sus antepasados fueron negros. Yo creo que los líderes usan ethnic cleansing a hacer su historia diferente que el actual. En general, a mí, el documental fue muy informativo y interesante.